And now for our weekly series, Miami Proud. Every Thursday, we bring you stories that feature people and organizations inspiring greatness and pride.
Now, this week, we focus on one woman's very personal mission to bring an end to drunk driving.
My dad was very cerebral, so he was extremely smart. You could talk to him about anything.
Heather Geronemus has many vivid memories of her father, Fort Lauderdale Dr. Robert Geronemus, a successful, well-known kidney specialist.
As a child, my dad would take me on his rounds on the weekends, and it was such a thing that the nurses used to keep coloring books for me, and just seeing him work and seeing his love for his patients. To see my dad connect with his patients in that way, I don't think I realized it at the time, but it's something that's left a lasting impact on me.
10 years ago, after speaking at a medical conference dinner in downtown Miami, Dr. Geronemus was hit by a car, and Heather received the most dreaded news.
A drunk driver blew a light at a very high rate of speed, struck my father, and he flew 75 feet, and he died in the middle of Brickell.
The driver fled the scene, was apprehended, stood trial, and was convicted. The events of that tragedy, grieving and enduring the trial process, lit a fire in Heather.
There was a time where I was angry, despondent, totally disconnected from what was really going on, and Mothers Against Drunk Driving had reached out to me. I wanted to be part of a world that didn't need a call from a stranger, didn't need another victim to talk to you. So we started this 5K to raise money for MADD, and it's become more than just a one-day event. It's become a year-round conversation about the dangers of drinking and driving.
As founder of Fort Lauderdale's Walk Like MADD and MADD Dash, Heather heads up the most successful fundraiser for the organization.
Drunk driving is still the #1 killer on our roadways in this country, and it's something that people aren't as focused on. People would have you think that texting and driving is worse than drunk driving, and statistics show that it's absolutely not.
The money raised at the annual event stays right here in South Florida, funding early intervention in high schools, volunteer victims advocates, and support for local law enforcement.
We do things like terrible things like death notification training for officers. One of the hardest things that a police officer has to do, and they don't necessarily get a lot of training on that.
Heather's role involves advocating and sharing her personal story hundreds of times, which has kept her father's legacy alive.
To this day, almost every time that I speak somewhere, somebody will come up to me and say, your father saved my mother or my father or someone. So it's his impact, even though he's been gone for 10 years, is still in our community today.
Walk Like MADD and MADD Dash Fort Lauderdale 5K takes place on Sunday, April 28th at Huizenga Plaza. You can log on to our website at cbsmiami.com for details. Francis Wang, CBS 4 News.
CBS 4's Miami Proud is sponsored by FPL. At FPL, we're making Florida's energy future even brighter. See how at fpl.com/value.